What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome to the Niners Sickness Podcast. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Saturday evening. Hope you guys had a wonderful Saturday with family and friends. How's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are doing awesome. We're going to talk a little bit of football today. We're going to talk a little bit about Brian Griese, the new quarterbacks coach. What are your thoughts on this hiring? What type of hiring was this by Kyle Shanahan? This guy has zero experience in coaching, but he's very familiar with Kyle Shanahan's system. Was he the right decision to bring in to develop the young kid in Trey Lance? Tony Smith, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We got Mike H in the house. How you doing, sir? Welcome. All right, on Mike. I'm gonna try to see if I can do one live on YouTube and a live on Facebook for all those who are on Facebook. But I appreciate you stopping by, Mike. What's going on, Johnny? How you doing, Johnny? Welcome to the stream. So let me just put this on a group real quick, and we'll talk a little bit. We'll talk a little bit of football. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's having a good time. Man, I got a shade. Look at that. Ooh-wee. So this is the kind I just want to give you guys the three angles of my cameras. I got the front view camera. I got the side view camera. And if you want to see my setup, how things look, it's a little messy, but this is my format. I got my Rodecaster Pro, my Stream Decks, my secondary camera, my primary camera, my two screens. I got a third screen here that I can use if I need to, my mouse pad, and my wireless keyboard. Well, the mouse pad is wireless too, but I keep it plugged in. So yeah, this is a little bit of my setup here in the Niner Sickness studio. Brian Griese going to do wonders with Jimmy Q. I don't think it's going to be with Jimmy, but what an upgrade for us. Now we are unstoppable. Yeah, I don't think Jimmy will be here. I don't know. There's a lot of speculations that Kyle Shanahan should keep Jimmy. We are a championship team. And a lot of teams are lacking in quarterbacks, right? A lot of teams right now, let's keep it real. How many teams need quarterbacks? And the Niners are sitting with two quarterbacks, Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. You go into a 17-week season with two quarterbacks. A lot of teams don't even go in there with one. Would it be a bad idea to keep Jimmy as a backup, not as a starter, as a backup, or start Jimmy, and as Trey really develops this year, bring him in the middle of the season? What are you guys' thoughts on that? Trey Lance will totally benefit by sitting another year when he starts in his third. The thing about it is, usually quarterbacks are extended in their fourth year, right? Usually all players, especially the ones that get drafted in the first round, they normally get extended within their fourth year. Look at Kyle Murray. He's looking for an extension, right? By that time, hopefully, you have an understanding of what type of quarterback you have. And are you willing to commit or you're not? And if you sit Trey Lance another year on the bench, by the time that it comes to extend him, are you going to be completely reassured that this is the quarterback you want to go with? This is why, as much as I would love to keep Jimmy, I believe that it's more important to start Trey, kind of get an idea of what he's about going forward, so that way when we do have to make our decision in extending him, we know exactly what we're going to do with him. Brian Griese is a good choice or not? Well, this is the thing, Tony. He has no experience whatsoever in coaching. He hasn't coached before. But the guy has experience in playing football. He understands the quarterback position. He can break it down. So what is coaching? What is coaching? Coaching is teaching something you know about, right? To me, coaching is teaching something you know. He may not have the experience in coaching before, but he's played the position. He knows the position. Brian Griese is smart. And if he can teach Trey Lance the Kyle Shanahan way of playing quarterback, and I think that's why Kyle Shanahan brought him in. Teach him my style of quarterback. Remember, Brian Griese came in, I believe, in 1988, and learned from John Elway. He learned from John Elway, right? So he knows Mike Shanahan and now Kyle Shanahan's system. Has he coached before? No, but he's a smart man. He's played the position for, I believe, 12 years. He's going to work one-on-one with Trey, teach Trey how to run Kyle Shanahan's system at quarterback. I see him doing that. So do I think he's the right choice or wrong choice, Tony? Only time will tell, Tony. Maybe Jeff Garcia would have been a better option for quarterback coach, especially for a mobile quarterback. Now, keep in mind this, okay? The difference between Jeff Garcia and Brian Griese. Brian Griese was brought in and brought up in the Kyle Shanahan's type of quarterback. Steve Young, the John Elways, okay? Jeff Garcia played more with Mariucci, right? Steve Mariucci, that type of Mike Holmgren type of offense. So he doesn't really know the Kyle Shanahan offense and quarterback play as Brian Griese. So we are more familiar with Jeff Garcia. Jeff Garcia was an ex-49er quarterback. So in the sense of the name, Jeff Garcia would sound better, right? But if you bring in a player that has played and knows Kyle Shanahan's system, because he not only has he been around the Shanahans, but he was taught it when he was drafted by the Broncos, he is the more appropriate individual to bring in over Jeff Garcia, in my opinion. According to what people have been saying, that he'll be throwing by late July, early August. So he'll be throwing late July, early August. So he should be ready to go, whether he's with us or with another team. Reggie, how you doing? Welcome to the channel, brother. Welcome to the channel. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Make sure to smash the like button. With contracts pending, keep Jimmy would be expensive disaster. Now, listen. I'm not lobbying for Jimmy. I'm not saying Jimmy should stay. Okay. I am for Trey Lance. I am for starting the new era with Trey Lance. But John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan have, with Parag Mate, have figured out how to keep Jimmy if they have to, or if they want to, and still be able to extend Debo's and Bosa's contract. Listen, for the years that I've been watching football, and it's been a lot of years, if a team really covets a certain player, they'll find ways to pay them. They'll find ways. Jimmy Ward just restructured his contract. I'm pretty sure they're trying to restructure Eric Armstead's. They'll allocate the money somewhere. If they want to keep Jimmy, I'm not saying they should or they will, but if they want to keep Jimmy, they'll figure out a way how to keep him and how to pay Debo and Bosa, plus Lincoln Tomlinson and DJ Jones if they choose to stay with the 49ers. But again, I want to make sure I'm clear. I'm not saying that I want Jimmy back. I think the smart thing to do is to let go of Jimmy, get a valuable pick for him, and then allocate that money towards other players. But I believe if they wanted to, they can bring him back. I think that if we have to absolutely keep Jimmy G, I think it would be a good backup quarterback to Trey. That's just my thoughts. I mean, depending on how much they will restructure his contract to bring him back, they're not going to bring him back for 1 year at 26 to be a backup. I can guarantee that. If they bring back Jimmy for 1 more year, it's to play him. Okay? Now, keep in mind, people say, well, wait a minute. You can get a first or a second or a third for Jimmy today, right? Well, possibly. But if that market is not open and you keep Jimmy for 1 more year, do you know that when he leaves the Niners next year, even though he leaves on his own because he's no longer in contract, the Niners will get a 3rd round comp for Jimmy? Jimmy leaves next year. We keep him in 2022. He leaves after that season. We'll get a 3rd round comp for Jimmy. I'm just saying. But I prefer a 1 or a 2 this year, if all possible, for Jimmy. Now, for those that want Jimmy to be gone, for those that want Trey to start quarterbacking for your San Francisco 49ers, understand this and make sure you are clear on this. That if we start Trey Lance and we do move on from Jimmy G, your expectations of making the playoffs should be lowered. I'm not saying we can make the playoffs. I'm not saying I don't want to make the playoffs. What I'm saying is, if we move on from Jimmy and we roll with Trey, you should damper down your expectations of playoffs. Because even though this is technically the 2nd year for Trey, he is going to be a rookie as a starter. And he's going to have his learning pains. He's going to have good games and he's going to have bad games. Now, if he's learning and we win games because of our defense and our run game, then hey, I'm all for it. We win games because of our defense. We win games because of our running game. And then towards the end of the year, we make the playoffs. And now Trey has experience under his belt. Then maybe we can make a run in the playoffs. But I'm just saying, if we start Trey and we move on from Jimmy, understand that the possibility of not making the playoffs will be there. We can't be spoiled, okay? What I'm trying to say is you can't not want to start Trey, get rid of Jimmy, and expect to go deep in the playoffs. I mean, you can do what you want. You can ask for what you want. But the reality is, for me, is if we keep Trey, move on from Jimmy, I'm taking one game at a time. And I want to see progress from Trey. I want to see Trey get better week by week. Every week that goes by, if he's getting better, if he's making lesser mistakes, he's learning more, I am good with that. Whatever comes towards the end of the season, I will take. But if you expect to make the playoffs, you expect to make sure that if the Niners don't make the playoffs with Trey, and Trey's a failure, well, I mean, those are hard expectations, especially for the young man. I think I read that one. Let's see here. Thank you for wiping your feet, Raphael. Appreciate that. John Lynch did alter that they are budgeted to keep both Jimmy and Trey. So we'll see how everything unfolds. Absolutely. Hey, the Packer fan. How you doing, sir? Welcome to my stream, brother. Welcome to my stream. Much respect. How you doing? You still got Rodgers to get by. You probably typed that in yourself, right? You probably typed that yourself and you laughed. You probably typed it in yourself and you laughed when you put on there, you still have Rodgers. That is funny stuff, bro. As a matter of fact, I want Rodgers to stay with the Packers because I'd rather play Rodgers and the Packers in the playoffs than play another quarterback. Just because of the record that we have against Rodgers in the playoffs. But welcome to the channel, brother. Welcome to the channel. Mike, he's a friend of mine. Bill, the Packer fan. He's cool dude. I've been on his channel. He's a huge Packer fan. Loves his Packers as much as we love our Niners. And he's a cool dude, man. He's real respectful. So he comes on my channel once in a while. I go on his YouTube channel once in a while. And we just show each other mutual respect. But he's a cool guy. He just has a quarterback that can't beat the Niners in the playoffs, but he's a cool dude. If we start Trey, Niner fans gonna call for Shanahan and Lynch to get fired. That's the thing. If we start Trey over Jimmy, people need to understand that he's going to have his learning pains. To me, Trey ultimately is going to be a great quarterback for the Niners. He's going to be I'm not going to put him in the Patrick Mahomes and the Josh Allen's conversations. He has not deserved that. I'm not going to insult Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. Let Trey Lance earn his stripes. Once he plays a year, 2 years, and he starts showing that he can play like those quarterbacks, then I will bring him in the same conversation. But until then, I'm not going to put Trey Lance in that conversation with those two gentlemen. We own Rodgers 0-4. Yes, we do. Discount double check, baby. My friend, what's up, my brother? Hey, Thickness, tell me when your back feels better. My back it's moment to moment. I sent you a text. I don't know if you got it on Twitter. I sent you a text on Twitter that I was going to go live if you wanted to come on here with me, if you wanted to join me for a bit, but I didn't hear from you. And my back, I take my medication. One moment my back is feeling terrible. The next moment it's feeling fine. It's really a moment to moment, unfortunately, with my back. It's not something that I can control. I'll contact you. Right on, brother. And thank you for wiping your feet. I appreciate that. Truly appreciate that. Give me 1 second, real quick. Make sure to hit that like button for me. All right, guys. Everyone that is watching, make sure to wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button. So, Brian Griese. He is our new quarterbacks coach. I want to get your thoughts. I came on today for a little bit because I truly want to get your thoughts on this hire. What are your personal thoughts on this hire? Do you agree with the Brian Griese hire? Are you like, I'm going to wait and see before I judge? No, what the hell was Kyle thinking? What are your thoughts on this hire? Are you okay with it? Are you willing to see what happens? Or are you against it? I'm curious to see what the faithful feel about this hire. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that very much. You heard about we possibly getting Brian Hoyer. Oh, I hope not. If Jimmy is traded. Brian Hoyer, even with his familiarity with Shanahan's offense, couldn't even help C.J. Beathard develop. Yeah, I hear you. Now, those are just things you know what you hear here and there. There's no guaranteed that he's going to come to the Niners. So I wouldn't worry about that at all. I just wouldn't. What's up, Dave? Bang Bang Niner Gang. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. So the whole part of me coming live for a few minutes on this stream is strictly to talk about a little bit about the combine. If you watched yesterday, you watched the linemen, offensive linemen run their 40s, kind of gave us an idea of, hold on, guys. Kind of give us an idea of what these linemen look like. Today, you saw the linemen and running backs yesterday. Today, if you watch the combine, you've seen the D linemen and the linebackers go, and they looked pretty good running the 40. I enjoy watching the combine. I enjoy getting familiarized with these individuals, at least by TV. I have a few friends of mine that are there in Indy, actually being part and reporting in the behalf of the 49ers family, which I think is awesome. And I like, if you guys follow Robert Shue, the guy is awesome. He started his channel this year. I'm talking about, he has blown everybody out of the water. This guy, just everybody follows him, and rightfully so. He's a great guy, knows his football, and this year is his first time ever going to Indy at the combine as a reporter of the 49ers, and I can see it in him how excited he is. I would be the same if I was in his shoes, so I am truly happy for him and Jason Aponte and all those great content creators that are there in Indy doing what they do best, man. But Brian Hoyer. Now you got me with the Brian Hoyer crap. Johnny. Brian, Griese. People say that, what is the difference between coaching experience? I understand that if you had to coach the offensive side of the ball or defensive side of the ball or head coach, and you've never been a coach before, I can understand the risk that come into play in that. But if you're just coming in for a skill position like quarterbacks coach, even though you never coached before, but you played the position, you know the position, you're very familiar with quarterbacks, then I don't understand that what coaching is. What is coaching? Teaching, right? As a coach, you teach young players to be better at their skill set. So if Brian Griese is teaching and developing Trey one-on-one, teaching him how to be a better quarterback based on his own experience as a player, as a quarterback, as what he's seen, then what is he doing? He's coaching. The difference is he's not an experienced coach, but he has a lot of experience playing football at that position. If he was a defensive player and they brought him as a quarterback coach and never had coached before, then I would be concerned. But the whole idea that we're bringing in Brian Griese with no experience as a coach, but has tons of experience as a player and knows the position, I really don't understand the problem with it. I don't. Everybody has to start somewhere, right? And I expect him to start teaching young Trey how to be a quarterback in Kyle Shanahan's system. CJ Beathard had a little bit of what Kyle Shanahan wanted, but remember where he was drafted at. Okay, and Kyle needed to bring a quarterback to compete in the quarterback room. So he drafted CJ. He just did not work out for the Niners. Trey, on the other hand, is completely different. This is Kyle's true pick. Now, Trey's pick is either going to make Kyle Shanahan known more than he is today, or he's going to get fired because of Trey. And only time will tell. Either Trey's going to make Kyle and that smart coach that drafted him, or he's going to be the reason why John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan get fired. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But I think that Kyle understands that Trey is very raw, very green, hasn't played much, but he's very much teachable. Now, Trey Lance always had a chip on his shoulder. He was told in high school he'll never make it pro. He was told in high school he'll never make it to the pros. Colleges did not want to give him a scholarship at the quarterback position. They would give him a linebacker or other positions, but not the quarterback position. Yet, he fought through a lot of adversity, and he was drafted 3rd overall in the 2021 draft. Now, there's a lot of naysayers saying that he's not going to be a good quarterback, that he's going to be a bust. I like that because that only fuels this young man to prove all these so-called experts that he is the right choice of the 49ers. And I think the Niners have taken the right road. They drafted him because they knew they had the flexibility to start Jimmy and let Trey develop on the sideline. The thing with us, because we are so impatient, we want to see Trey immediately, that we wanted Trey to come in and take over last year over Jimmy. Impatience. But the reality is, you had Jimmy take us to the NFC Championship game, and you had Trey develop and learn mentally how to deal with hardship, how to deal with adversity, how to deal with criticism. All these things he learned by watching Jimmy, on how Jimmy responded to the media. How did Jimmy respond to the negativity? These are the things that Trey learned. Now, this year, he's going to get on the field and he's going to learn the physical part of it. He's already got in the mental, 1 year mental reps. Now he's going to apply the physical. And I expect when those two things come together, we're going to have the quarterback of the future in San Francisco. But like everything, you got to be patient. Everything in its due diligence. Everybody wants to live in the microwave era, where you want everything instant. Sometimes you got to develop players. You got to be patient. You got to allow the players to go through their course and refine them. So at the end of the day, they are not the same player from where they started to where they went up. But we got to be patient. Good things come to those that wait. And Jimmy was able to teach Trey last year the mental side of it, how to deal with the media, how to deal with adversity. When we were 3-5, and everybody was talking about the Niners, they were a sorry team, they were falling apart, blah, blah, blah. Trey was able to learn how to handle adversity mentally, watching Jimmy. And maybe Jimmy wasn't the best quarterback to teach him football on the field, but he's damn the right man to teach him how to be a good human being and how to respond properly to adversity. And this is where Jimmy's skill set as a human comes into play to teach this young man how to be a professional going forward. And I think those are the things that we take lightly because we see the interceptions by Jimmy. We see the bonehead plays by Jimmy. But listen, Jimmy played through a bad thumb. Jimmy played through a bad shoulder. Then now it's going to require surgery. If that doesn't teach Trey Lance how to suck it up and play through injury, I don't know what does. That is teaching Lance, wow, look at Jimmy. Jimmy was bad arm, bad shoulder, bad thumb, and yet, he still played. He did not murmur or complain. He did not stir up the locker room. He was humble, quiet, and did his thing. Those are things you can't teach a player on the field. He has to watch it. So, to me, that's a skill set that I believe Trey learned from Jimmy. Now, we're going to be moving on from Jimmy. Now, Trey's going to take over. And I expect Trey to get better week by week. Got to remember, he's going to have a complete offseason. He's going to have a complete offseason. He's the man now taking over the reins. They're going to design the offense around Trey. Trey's going to be working with the ones and not the backups. He's going to develop rapport with Brandon, with Debo, with Kittle, with Elijah Mitchell, Raheem Mostert if we bring him back, whoever's back there. The offensive linemen are going to get familiar with Trey's style of play. I guarantee you, the Trey Lance that we see in September is going to be completely different from the Trey Lance that we saw in November of 2021 against the Texans. I expect Trey to be much further along, develop, and we're going to have fun watching him play. What is going on, Elias? How you doing, sir? Welcome. Make sure to hit that like button for me. David McNew, how you doing, sir? Hi, Beto and members of the Empire. Wipe my feet. Thank you for wiping your feet. What's up, Trey? How you doing, Trey? Welcome to the stream, brother. Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Grant said that Kyle did not pick Trey Lance. He wanted Mac Jones. I call BS on that statement. Yeah, everybody has their choice on who they want to listen to and who they don't want to listen to. I'm never going to talk negative about anybody. I don't agree with all the content creators out there. I don't care what position you have. I don't care if you're media or not part of the media. I don't care if you have an education or not. I'm not going to agree with everybody out there. Nobody knows nothing for certain but God, Kyle, John Lynch, and Jed York. Okay? But based on what I've been hearing from John, and I tend to believe John Lynch, he said it himself that when they left the pro day of Justin Fields, when they were on the jet flying back from Ohio State's pro day, Justin Fields, that Kyle Shanahan on his laptop was watching film on Trey Lance. So people can say what they want. It was Mac Jones. It was Mac Jones. But if you hear Kyle speak, if you watch Mike Shanahan and taking Steve Young and John Elway type of quarterbacks, where do you see the Mac Jones? The Kirk Cousins? Remember, Kirk Cousins was a third-round pick of Kyle Shanahan or Mike Shanahan. The whole idea that Mac Jones was their top choice is just ridiculous to me. That's just me, though. Absolutely, Mike. That is correct. When a player hits the field like Kurt Warner, an American underdog, you instantly know if, as a coach, you have something special. Trey does not say that confidence. Well, listen. Only time will tell. Only time will tell with Trey Lance. Trey Lance was my choice coming out of college. Out of all the quarterbacks that were available to us. Now, Trevor Lawrence is ultimately my first quarterback. I'm a Clemson Tiger fan. So, obviously, not only because he was in Clemson, but I just like his style of play. Zach Wilson wasn't my choice. Justin Fields wasn't my choice. And definitely Mac Jones was not my choice. I wanted Trey. Out of North Dakota. The Bison. His ceiling is high, but his floor is low. He is raw, meaning they don't have to unteach things in his life. He's so raw that there's not that much to unteach. They can just start teaching him the right way to play quarterback in the NFL. And I think that Trey will be that quarterback that's going to exceed a lot of expectations for the 49ers. But we're going to have to be patient, and only time will tell. But to say that, for those that say that Trey's going to be an all-pro and a Hall of Famer, that's ridiculous. And for those to say that he's going to be a bust, that's ridiculous too. We just don't know one way or the other. Only time will tell if Trey's going to be a good quarterback or a bad one. That is very true, Mike. A lot of this younger generation is completely different from the older generation, but that's another thing that I like about Trey Lance. Trey Lance looks like he was raised by great family values, Christian family, um, a great father, great mother, was raised correctly. He's made out of the right stuff. So even though he's a younger generation of his age wise, but he's definitely been raised properly, in my opinion, by parents. And he's humble. He's willing to learn. He's willing to observe, and he's willing to be taught. And that's all you want in a quarterback, to be open-minded and willing to learn. Ismael, how you doing, sir? It's been a minute since I seen you, brother. Make sure to hit that like button for me. Do you think we resign most? I think we will. I really think we will resign Raheem Mostert. Listen, he's not going to demand a big contract. He got hurt. He's up there in age. Now, if a team happens just to blow him out of the water with a high contract, I expect him to take it. Why not? Make your money if you can. But I just don't expect a team coming in here and taking him away from us. I think the Niners will re-sign him, and I would love to see Elijah Mitchell continue to learn from Raheem Mostert. Yes, he gets hurt. Yes, sometimes he doesn't play the whole year. But let's just hope that 2022 will be a year that he plays the whole year. Imagine the combination of Elijah Mitchell and Raheem Mostert. That's going to be awesome, wouldn't it? I think so. Let's see here. Pale Time. What's up, brother? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. I am doing well. I'm having some back issues. I've been under the weather when it comes to my back. But other than that, I'm okay. And right now, I'm on some narcotics, so I'm kind of like, hey. But I have people that don't know. I have I'm a paraplegic, meaning I was paralyzed from my waist down for 10 years. A lot of those know, but of late, I have arthritis and stenosis in the spine. Stenosis and arthritis in my spine. So when it flares up, it's not a good feeling. These speculations are funny. Brady was drafted late and Rosen was drafted early. We don't know until we know. Exactly. Good point there. Rosen was drafted 10th overall. He's a backup. Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. And he's the GOAT. 7 freaking rings. You don't know until you know. Very well said. Very well said. Question. Who on the Niners would you want to lead a Bible study with? Huh. That's interesting. Who in the Niners? That's a very good question. I know there's quite a few of them that are Christians. Now, who would I lead based on character, like personality wise, based on their walk with the Lord? Are you asking, Pale Time? Or are you asking just based on their personality? Just the personality within itself? Let me know before I answer the question there, Pale. Oops, hit the wrong one. What's up, my friend Dick Tracy? Dick Tracy loves Trey Lance, by the way. He is a huge Trey Lance fan. Welcome, Dick Tracy. Yeah. It's funny that you say he's a bust. It's hilarious how people can say that a player's a bust or when he's only played 2.5 games in the NFL. Now, you may want him to be a bust. You may wish he was a bust. That's your prerogative. But to say that Trey Lance or any player is a bust off of 2.5 games, yeah, that's just you wishing he will be a bust. There's no way we can determine what a player is going to be based on 2.5 games of film. Okay, well, I say this. If Trey doesn't become the quarterback that I think he will be by the end of the year, I will come on here and make a live and saying, Dick Tracy, you were right. Not that he's a bust, but he's not going to be good. And I'll confess. But if Trey Lance growth, you can see the growth from game 1 to game 17, regardless of whether we make the playoffs or not, regardless of how many games we win or lose. Take that out of the equation. Just based on what you see on tape on Trey. If you see growth from Trey from week 1 to week 17, I want you to come on my show and tell everybody you were wrong about Trey. Will you do that? Will you do that? Young hitter, what's up? Josh, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit that like button for me. I appreciate it. He's not really done. He still has a year or two left. He gets hurt. But remember, Raheem Mostert don't have to be the starter. You have Elijah Mitchell to start. You want Raheem to be that punch, that 1-2 punch with Elijah Mitchell. But you give more carries to Elijah Mitchell, you mix it up, and that'll keep Raheem Mostert a little bit on the healthier side. I can see it happening. I can see those two running backs running together. And then we can't forget about Trey Sermon. I have not given up on Trey Sermon. Trey Sermon's not a bust. Again, he hasn't played. I expect to see a lot of Trey Sermon in 2022 and a better Trey Sermon than we saw in 2021 for sure. Personality, I think. Well, if it's personality, I like Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward, I think, would be a great person to have a Bible study with because I like his personality. Jimmy Ward and Fred Warner. Fred Warner and Jimmy Ward would be the two players that I would love to do a Bible study with at Pale Time. Brady is the GOAT of cheating, maybe. Throwing the Lombardi around drunk. No class, no... Okay. I'm not a big Brady fan, but let's keep it real, Mike. I don't know if you ever got drunk. I don't know if you ever drank. But I do know that you probably were not in the public eye. What did you do, Mike, when you were younger and you were under the influence? I'm pretty sure we all done some really stupid stuff. The difference is we were not under the microscope. We were not under the media. So nobody, unless our friends saw, but the public did not see our mistakes. Was it smart to throw the trophy around when you're drunk? No, but when you're drunk and you're happy, I don't know. You go based on the moment. I probably would have done the same thing. Would have been smart? Probably not. Are you thinking about what may happen at that particular moment? No. You're just reacting on how you feel. Now, I've been drunk before, and I've done some stupid things that I regret until this day. The difference is there was no social media. There was no iPhones with cameras. So, and plus, I'm not a public figure either, so nobody cares. Likewise, Dick Tracy. Likewise, much respect for you, bro. Listen, We can always agree to disagree. You don't like Trey, I like Trey, but that's your opinion. I have mine, but we both respect each other, and that's all that matters. So much love for you as well, brother. Pale time. LA Rams YouTuber Kittle would lead the hell out of it. Kittle. The thing about Kittle, though, he's such a character. He's such a funny guy that I can't see a moment of what's the word I'm looking for? He's so funny. He's so comical that when you need to be serious, like altar call, I can't picture George Kittle giving an altar call. He'll probably slam the person at the altar, says, "Receive Jesus," pow, thinking that it's WWE type of Christian altar. He'll slap the devil out of you. Beto, if Trey only wins 1/4 of the games, I want you to burn his. Yeah, I'm not gonna burn unless you buy it, bro. You buy it, okay? You buy it, send it to me, and maybe I'll burn it. But I'm not gonna pay money and burn it because you want to see me do that. Nope. But the whole thing is you're saying you only see what you see in Lance. But what have you seen for you to reassure yourself that he's a bust? Yeah, he hasn't had that much tape. He hasn't played that many games. But when he played, he was a winner. What in his game have you seen that he's a bust in your mind? I don't understand that. And I guess I won't. I don't think there's anything that Trey has done to this point in his career that people can say he's a bust. I just don't see it. Cooper Kupp. Brady still threw a dart even though when he's drunk. I'm doing all right. Thank you, Beto. Right on, Josh. How's the baby coming on? Was the baby born yet or not yet? I haven't kept up with you lately. I would like to have Bible study with Kittle. It wouldn't be a dull moment, that's for sure. It would not be a dull moment for sure. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. I haven't shaved. Look at that. I gotta shave, man. Got to shave. For those that don't know my little bit of my studio, this is my studio here. My first camera, my second camera, obviously my third camera. My Rodecaster Pro. This is what I use to talk out of. My Steam Decks. Yep. Little bit of the background of my studio. Beto, what's your thoughts on Kinlaw? Would you say the dude is done? I know a lot of us still miss Buckner. Yeah, for those that have an emotional investment in Buckner, no disrespect to no one, but if you have an emotional investment in Buckner, then Kinlaw, in those people's eyes, is going to be a failure. I hate comparisons. DeForest Buckner was what he was when he was here. I liked him when he was a Niner. I wish him the best as a coach. Is Javon Kinlaw done? He hasn't shown enough to say that as well. He had a major injury that he addressed. He missed the whole 2021 season. We're going to have to evaluate him in the 2022 season and see what Javon Kinlaw will be with a healed knee. I can't say that he's a bust. I can't say he's going to be great. I don't know. He's still, to me, the jury's still out on him. But if you are emotionally invested in Buckner, and that it's going to be hard to see the value in Kinlaw, you got to separate Kinlaw away from Buckner and see Kinlaw for himself and his own abilities. Otherwise, you're going to be tinted by the love that you have for Buckner. How you doing, John? Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit that like button for your boy Niners sickness. Trey has too much of an upside for me not to want to see him start now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with you, John. Beto, look up Travis Jones. Number 45. He might be a Niner. I know that, what's that guy's name? The gentleman, the guy that comes on Good Morning Football. Peter Schrager? Yeah, Peter Schrager. I know Peter Schrager spoke highly of Travis Jones today when he was talking, and he was saying to keep an eye out for Travis Jones. Now, he did not attach him to the Niners. He just said that he's a great prospect. He ran a 4.5, I believe, so he's pretty good. But at 61, remember, there's going to be a lot of picks before 61. I know a lot of people wanted, for all the dreamers, they wanted Christian Watson to come to the Niners after his performance on Thursday. That's not happening. What did he run? A 4.2? Oh my God, he was fast. The great snow Lance ain't it. If you're referring to Joe Montana, what does Joe Montana know? Just because he won 4 Super Bowls and he was the GOAT of the Niners, suddenly because he says something against Trey is trash? That is hilarious. I love Joe Montana. Joe Montana, I love my personal favorite is Steve Young. Steve Young, to me, is better than Joe Montana. But that's just my opinion. And I can back it up. If you take away the Super Bowls, people don't realize the Super Bowls are a team sport, not a personal accolades. But my point being is, as much as respect I have for Montana, if he hasn't watched film or practices of Trey, and I'm not saying that you mentioned him, but if he's one of the, what you call the greats, and I think you are referring to Montana, if he hasn't watched film, and I think Montana's a little biased because remember, Montana lost his job to Steve Young. Montana was traded to the Kansas City to went ahead and start Steve Young, the young kid. Jimmy G is the veteran, the Joe Montana, if you will, and Trey Lance is the Steve Young. So I see a little bit of that there in that comment about Trey. I like Zion Johnson. He looked pretty good there, man. I like what I saw in him. Ed Ingram, what are the faithful thoughts on the draft? I like. I'm not too familiar with Ed, but Zion Johnson, I like that kid, and he's a possibility to be there at 61. I like that. Trey is a bust because he's not natural, bat reads poor. decision making, not throwing. Oh my God. You just described Josh Allen. You just described it, Josh Allen. Not the Josh Allen of today. The Josh Allen when he came out of college. Same thing. Bad reads, poor decision making. His throws were not great. What else? He didn't have great. There were so many things about Josh Allen. People were calling him a bust. Kind of basically what you're saying about Trey right now is the same people that were saying about Josh Allen back then. Now, I don't know if Trey Lance is going to become a Josh Allen and prove people wrong. I don't know that. Time will tell. But the same things were said about Josh Allen coming out of college. Look at you would take him in a minute, wouldn't you? If I said if you would take Josh Allen, you probably take him in a heartbeat. So this is why you can't. I mean, people can do what they want, but to sit there and say that he's trash or that he's a bust because of this A, B, and C, it's ridiculous, man. It is. Oh, almost. Ooh. Almost. Oh my goodness. I bet you somebody's fired up for March 15th. You're gonna have to show me a couple of pictures, bro. Once the baby is born, you're gonna have to show me a couple of pictures, brother. I am so happy for you, man. Truly happy for you, Josh. You're gonna be an amazing father. Are you gonna be a perfect father? Probably not. Nobody's a perfect father. But just like football, you learn as you go, right? Perfect example. If I said the young hitter, Josh, this is his first baby that he's having, okay? This is his first baby. I'm going to use football as an analogy. I think, a young hitter, this is not what I think of you, but I'm just going to use it as an example. I think that the young hitter is going to be a bust as a father. He's going to be a terrible father to his kid. How in the world do I know that? How can I say that? I don't know that. He may struggle in the beginning. He may make some mistakes, but he learns. And by the time his kid is 18, he can be one hell of a father. The same point to Trey. How do you know Trey's going to be a bust if you don't see how he progresses? It's just like me saying that the young hitter's going to be a bust as a father without him ever being a father before. So anyway, sorry that I used you as an illustration, Josh, but I wanted to use that as a point. Well, that's bringing judgment. You don't know that. You don't know that. We don't know what people's relationships are with God. And if you judge by his outside appearance, unless you know him personally, it's hard to say. My age, then Jimmy G, it'd be a bust. He did everything you listed and more. Exactly. It's funny how people say that a certain player is going to be a bust because A, B, and C. Josh Allen had the same things coming out of college. He was inaccurate. He had issues. But look what happens with practice and dedication. What are you made of? The outside will happen. Who are you made of as a person? If you're made out of the right stuff as a human being, everything else will come secondary. Look at that quarterback that was drafted by the Raiders in their first pick years ago. I forgot his name. Marcus Russell, or anyway, number one pick. They gave him all that money, but he was so immature that what did he do? You can never tell. And coming out of a college, this guy Russell his indication that he was going to be a Hall of Famer, right? But he was a bust. So, again, you can be a good quarterback out of college and be a bust, and you can be a semi-okay quarterback in college and take off. Brady wasn't great in college. If Brady was great in college, why did he go in the 6th round? If people see Brady today, right? 7 Super Bowl rings, Hall of Famer, first ballot, the GOAT, Tom Brady. Why did Tom Brady go in the 6th round? He went in the 6th round, obviously, because he did not show great qualities coming out of college. I bet you there was a lot of negativity surrounding Tom Brady. Weight, height, whatever it was. I don't recall too much when he was drafted, but I can imagine it wasn't all good based on where he was drafted. He was drafted in the 6th round. How many quarterbacks were drafted ahead of Tom Brady? How many quarterbacks were drafted ahead of Tom Brady? And if they were drafted ahead of Tom Brady, that tells me that they had to look better in college than Tom Brady did, right? How many of those quarterbacks to today can hold a candle to Tom Brady? My whole point with that is you don't know what you're getting until the kid performs on the field. You can get the Jamuska Russell, whatever his name is. They came in the 1st round with all the intangibles and became a bust for the Raiders. Or you can draft a Tom Brady in the 6th round. They drafted him to be a backup and becomes what he has become. This is why when people say a person's going to be a bust, it's just ludicrous to me. It is. Oops, wrong one. So did Mac Jones play only 1 year in college, and he looks pretty good. He played in a bigger school against better defenses. The thing about it to me is, who are you as a person? What are you made of as a human being? How were you raised as a person? First and foremost, your character. What is your character like? Secondly, are you paired with the right head coach? You put in a quarterback like Trey Lance and you pair him up with a head coach like Kyle Shanahan, and they can both make each other great. Just going based that Trey only had 1 year experience. He hasn't had the 3 years or 4 years that, he hasn't played for the whole 4 years. It doesn't mean he's going to be great, but it doesn't mean he's going to be a bust either. It's just that he's raw. Trey Lance is raw, and he needs to be developed. This is why the Niners did not start him in 2021. This is the reason why they kept Jimmy G for a year while they developed Trey on the bench, because they knew he was raw. Well, that's saying that David's blind because he doesn't agree with you. It's a little childish, Dick. People are entitled to their opinion. Listen, we can agree to disagree. Nobody can see, nobody's blind, nobody's smart, nobody's stupid based on your opinion. You are entitled to your opinion, to your own conviction based on what you see. It doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you know what you're talking about, or does it make you that you don't know what you're talking about. It just means that you are you and you have your own opinion. But to call someone dumb because you don't agree with them that's a little bit premature if you ask me. And I mean that respectfully. You know, you can just hate a player and never give a player credit. Maybe you're a Justin Field. Maybe Dick Tracy's a Justin Field fan. Or maybe Dick Tracy, maybe you like Mac Jones and you're unhappy that we didn't draft Mac Jones. I don't know what it is. Why you hate. I think you hate, and I could be wrong, but I think you hate Trey Lance because you really wanted Mac Jones, Dick Tracy. I agree with you, David, 100%. David, I'm not sure what game you watch on Sunday, but I see a leader, confident, loyal, poised, controlled, does what he asks of. Are you talking about Alex Smith? Oh, I know you're talking about Jimmy. Jimmy has made his mistakes. Trust me. I love Jimmy. I think Jimmy is a great quarterback. You don't win as many games as you won without a player like Jimmy. Do I want to keep Jimmy? If we didn't have Trey, yes. But I just think that having Trey, you got to start him at one point and begin his development, and you got to move on. And the only reason why I'm okay with moving on from Jimmy G is because we have Trey. If we didn't have Trey, I would keep Jimmy. But we have Trey. We drafted him. We gave up 3 number ones. This is where we're at today, and we got to move on. Yeah, I know. He's a big boy, man. He ran a 4.9. Ooh, that was fast. My eyes are just fine. I saw Jimmy make bad. I hear you, bro. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, bro. Just because they don't agree with you doesn't mean you're wrong. Let's see here. I think Trey will have a couple of iffy games early on, but I think by mid-season he will be better season. But you know what, John? Based on what we saw in 2021, let's just look at 2021. Let's just look at the game against Arizona. All right, let's look at the game against Arizona. And then how many games, I forgot how many games between Arizona and the Texans. By the time he played in the Texans game, you can tell he was a different quarterback than he was when he played against Arizona, right? Completely different quarterback from Arizona to the Texans. So to me, that showed improvement, didn't it? Didn't that show everybody that he was improved? So if he improved from Arizona to his second game versus the Texans, what makes you believe that he will not improve next year? Just based on that. I never compared Lance. If you're talking to me, I don't know if you're talking to me or someone else. 'Cause I'm not reading every comment. I never compared Lance. I said this in the beginning of my show today, that out of respect for Mahomes and Allen, I would not put Trey Lance in that conversation because he hasn't earned it yet. In my book, he hasn't earned it. Now, if you're talking about me bringing up Josh Allen to what's in it, to the point where it was brought up earlier that Trey Lance, my team might brought up that Trey Lance is going to be a bust because he's not good at this and this and that. I brought Josh Allen as an example to that, but that's not me comparing Lance to Allen or Patrick Mahomes. If that statement is towards me, you can look at all my videos and you're not going to see me compare them. Trey has to earn his stripes. The Niners will go 10-7 or better with Trey Lance. And if not, I'll be here to own it. The trolls in the chat will change their name and run off when they realize they are wrong. They're just speaking their mind. It's okay. They're not trolling. They believe what they believe in. I would love to bring in Gilmore, depending how much money he requires or is asking for. I think he'll be a great addition to the secondary. I think he brings experience, poise, leadership to the secondary. He'll be a great mentor to Emory Thomas, but it has to be for the right amount. I would hate for the Niners to overpay for his services. And for those that want Jackson out of the Patriots to come to the Niners, he just said he wants the $20 million per year. He wants what's in the Ramsey money. With Debo and Bosa, I don't see the Niners bringing in Jackson at $20 million a year. So that one's out of the question for those that wanted Jackson to come to the Niners. Yeah, cut it out. Cut it out. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Oh, no, he needed to change his mechanics. I don't know what you were watching, Dick. I don't know what you were watching. But Allen was inaccurate. He was a bad thrower. He needed to change his mechanics, bro. I don't know who you were watching, bro, but the Josh Allen that I watched come out of college needed to learn a lot, and he did. And he did. And he's a great quarterback now, and I'm happy for him. Jamarcus Russell. Thank you. Yeah, Jamarcus Russell was the number one quarterback, highly coveted by teams, great. And talk about a bust. I mean, Alex Smith wasn't a bust. He wasn't a great quarterback. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers was better than Alex Smith, but Alex Smith wasn't a bust. Jamarcus Russell was a bust, especially to be taken at number one like that. This is why you can't go based on who goes number one or who goes in the sixth round. It's based upon the character of the person, what he puts in and out into football that will determine how good or bad a player will be. Well, everybody suffers. Injuries are part of football, man. Yeah, yep, I agree. No, it was I thought it was Marcus too, but it's Jamarcus Russell. That was the correct name. David Edmondson, how you doing, sir? What's good, brother? How you doing? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing great. I hope you guys are enjoying your evening with me, having fun, watching me talk 49er football. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. This whole show was started because I wanted to speak on the hire of Brian Griese. What does it mean for the 49ers going forward? A lot of people are concerned that he's never coached before Was he the right choice by Kyle Shanahan? Did Kyle Shanahan make a mistake? I think that only time will tell with Brian Griese, but I do know this. He was drafted by Mike Shanahan and the Broncos. He sat behind John Elway for a year. He knows Shanahan's offense. He knows what prototype quarterback that Kyle Shanahan and Mike Shanahan like. And I think he will develop and train Trey Lance to become that prototype quarterback that Kyle Shanahan covets. So I think, to me personally, I think it was a great hire. It's not a name that some people say, like, he doesn't come with 15 years of coaching the quarterback position, but he played quarterback for a lot of years. He knows quarterback position very well. And I think he'll be valuable to Trey. But only time will tell. Thank you. Yeah. Anybody to say that Josh Allen did not have mechanic issues? Yeah. Nope. That's not correcto mundo. Brady was nothing but a cheater. Look, well, now you see, you got to get out of your emotions. Okay. I don't care what he did, if he's a cheater or not. Based on football, the guy can play. Does he make bad judgments in life? I'm not going to judge him based on his cheating. They call Belichick cheater check, or how do they call him? Bella cheat. That's hilarious, Tony. I just go based on what I see on the field. What he does on the side, that's on him. He's a cheater. We will never judge a book by its cover like most Niner fans are doing with Trey right now. A lot of people do. A lot of people judge a book by its cover. They don't read to the end. They read a few chapters, and all of a sudden they become experts of the book. Isn't that funny? A person will read a couple of chapters of a book, and now they become experts of that book itself. And they don't read it all the way to the end to see whether it's a good book or not. They'll bring their assumptions based on what they read in a few chapters. That's hilarious to me. If he made minor tweaks, are still changing his mechanics. The whole point of changing something is because it's not working. You said it was a lack of experience and not mechanics. You were wrong in that. I'm just saying, if you're going to make a statement, make sure the statement's correct. That's all. Yeah. I don't know, bro. Listen, the reality about life is if you don't like a certain player, you just hate someone. No matter what people say, they're just going to see it a certain way. I don't know what Trey's going to be. I don't know. Trey's going to be a great football player. He's going to be an okay, or he's going to be a top 5. I don't know. Does he have the ability to be a top 5? He does. Will he get there? That all depends on Trey. But I think he's made out of the right stuff. I like the way he was developed and learned. I love the way he was taught as a child based on what I read. I like his mindset, his work ethic. And I think under Kyle and now Brian Griese, I think Trey is going to prove a lot of people wrong. People like Mike and Dick, which I respect. I don't agree with them, but I respect their decision because it is their decision, are going to have to eat crow. They're going to eat crow. That's all. But they are They are. It is their thought process. That's what they believe in. Oh, you're talking about Jimmy. Based on your comment, I can tell you're talking about Jimmy. you know, uh, again, I think Jimmy did his best while he was here. We won a lot of games with Jimmy. We won games with Jimmy than we did without him. Am I against Jimmy? No. I just think that we have Trey Young, Trey Lance in the wings. He sat for a year, and it's now time to go with the young kid. I think that if Trey Lance wasn't here, I would continue to roll with Jimmy. But the fact that we have Trey Lance, it is time to move on from Jimmy and develop this young kid and do or die. Like I said, either Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are going to look great behind this pick, or they're going to lose their job. But only time will tell. Now, based on what I've seen, I like the marriage between Trey and Kyle. I think they're going to do great things. Maybe that's just the fan in me. I don't know. Well, people say we'll find out how much a high demand Jimmy is. Now, this is an area that I would love to be proven wrong. I don't think we'll get a first for Jimmy. But if we get a first for Jimmy, I'll be the first one to sit there and go, wow, I was wrong. You know why? Because we got a first for Jimmy. It's all about the team, not about my pride. So I think we'll get a third at best for Jimmy, hopefully a second. Maybe a second this year and a fourth or fifth next year for Jimmy. But if we get a first, heck yeah, I'll take it. It doesn't mean that the Jimmy was worth a first round pick. It just means that there are so many teams that are hungry in need of a quarterback that they were willing to give a first for Jimmy. But it doesn't mean that he's earned that first. The big difference. Nah, I doubt it. I think this is where you are wrong. I don't think Kyle's going to do anything with Trey that resembles to Kaepernick. To me, this is just me. Kaepernick and Trey Lance are two completely different players, in my opinion. People kind of put them together because they both can run. But I think, personally, myself, I have nothing against Kaepernick, but I think Trey Lance is and will be a better quarterback than Kaepernick would have ever been, even if he stayed playing. And I have nothing against Kaepernick. I'm just bringing up some comments real quick as I will be ending up the show pretty soon. My back. I can raise the table and stand up, but I'm able to stand up on my show, but I'm just going to call it a night. Back is, for those that I told in the beginning, I have arthritis and stenosis in my spine, so Pain medication is wearing out a little bit. But I enjoy talking football. I enjoy having you guys conversate. And again, I don't agree with everybody's comments. I agree to disagree, but I welcome, as long as they're not absurd, as long as they're not disrespectful, I welcome everybody's point of view. I may not agree with you, but I welcome your comments. You are welcome to speak how you feel on my channel, as long as you're respectful, as long as you don't disrespect anybody else. Now, just like I respect your opinion, I pray that you respect others. You don't have to agree with each other, but we have to be cordial. We have to be respectful with one another. And there's no need to disrespect no one just because we don't agree with each other. I welcome everybody's comments, everybody's thought process. Again, I may not agree with you, but I will post it up on my screen and I will let you talk how you feel. But I just say, please keep it cordial. Don't be disrespectful, and we'll be fine. And I don't have that much of a concern because you guys are awesome anyway. Yep, I agree, John. The defense will bail them out, and the run game will bail them out. This is the thing what people don't understand. Other than Jimmy G having that quick release, right? We didn't win a lot of games because of Jimmy. We won games with Jimmy, but not because of Jimmy. And that's two different things. We didn't win games because of Jimmy. We won games with Jimmy at quarterback. And yes, it was the same defense and the same running backs without Jimmy that we lost. But that's because we had shitty backups. CJ Beathard, Nick Mullins, they sucked as backups. But I see Trey Lance not having to do too much. We rely on our defense in our run game, and I see us using Trey similar as we used Jimmy. The most beautiful thing with Trey, though, that as he continues to learn and develop, he will be able to improvise with his legs. He'll be able to escape the pocket when things break down with his legs, and he'll be able to extend plays with his legs. But do the Niners really need to ask a lot from Trey? No. Just don't turn over the ball. The defense will help you, and the run game will help you, just like they helped Jimmy. Again, we won games with Jimmy, not because of Jimmy, in my opinion. Maybe a game here and there we won, because, but if you listen, people may say, well, what about the Saints game in 2019? Okay, that's one. What about the Arizona games? That's 2 or 3 games. But how many games do you play in a year? My point being is, nothing against Jimmy. I'm not bashing Jimmy. I love Jimmy. I think Jimmy deserves to go to another team and do great. But I'm just saying, we won with Jimmy, not because of Jimmy, in my opinion. See, and this is where I think it's funny. Trey could not beat out a mediocre injured quarterback. It was never about whether he can beat out Jimmy G or not. It was about experience. All right? People can say what they will. At the end of the day, you're in the NFC championship game. You're in the playoffs. Trey is definitely the future, but he has no experience. Jimmy G is hurt, but he has experience. And experience is everything, especially in football. Is Trey going to be better than Jimmy going forward? I think so. Is Jimmy a better quarterback than Trey? No. But is Jimmy more experienced in these pressure games than Trey? Absolutely yes. So the fact that that Trey did not play had nothing to do whether Trey is good or not good, whether he's going to be a great quarterback or not. It had a lot to do with Kyle Shanahan always going with what he trusts. He trusts Jimmy because Jimmy has experience. That's all that was. I mean, people can say what they want. They're always going to say what they want, but Trey did not come in because he's not a good quarterback. He didn't come in because Jimmy is just have experience. And I don't know. I'm not gonna keep kicking the bucket on that. That's just my opinion. I know. But again, I'm okay with that, Elias. Again, I'm okay with people expressing how they feel. I'm okay with it. I'm not the type of person that hosts my channel and just has an attitude problem. I don't let things bother me. I don't get bothered. Things don't bother me very easily. They used to. My wife will be a testament to that. She'll be like, but the point is, lately things don't bother me. And when I mean lately, I'm in the last few years. My point being, I'm getting distracted here. I'm okay with people speaking their mind, even if it's against what I believe. I'm okay with that. And I say this again, and I'll say it again. As long as they are respectful, as long as they're not disrespecting, they're not making fun of me or making fun of my viewers, everything you say is welcome. Does it mean that I agree with what you say? No. And I'll say that I don't agree. But just because I don't agree with you, doesn't mean I'm going to shut you down. I'm going to let you speak. I'm going to let you express yourself. If you're against Lance, I'm okay with that. If you hate Lance, I'm going to let you hate him. That is your decision. As long as you're not disrespectful to the channel, to any of my viewers or myself, you will always be entitled to your opinion on my channel. I just won't agree with it. But I will let you express it. And I will bring up your comments. Even if I don't agree with your comments, I will still bring them up on the show because you wrote it. And out of respect to you, I will bring it up. But just because I bring it up on the screen, that doesn't mean I agree with you. It just means that I respect your opinion, even if I disagree with it. Absolutely, Edward. What's up, Edward? Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit that like button. I cannot wait for the draft either. I can't wait for free agency. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with Lincoln Tomlinson, what's going to happen with DJ Jones, what's going to happen with Arden Key. I cannot wait for free agents. I am not looking forward to the draft quite yet. I want to get past free agency. But beyond free agency, I'm looking forward to the draft as well, Edward. Welcome to the channel, by the way. That is correct. Perfectly said. He can be annoying based on his comments, but he's not doing nothing wrong. And I'm not the type of person that's going to kick you off my show because you hate someone. You can hate, I don't know, Fred Warner, Deebo Samuel. That's your prerogative. As long as you're respectful, I'm okay with it. I'm not going to kick you off, even if your comments are ridiculous. And I will let you guys, And the thing about it is, I love you guys going back at each other. You guys are able to express your opinions. I like Mike and Dick Tracy have a certain opinion of Trey. My boy Elias and my boy David McNew, they have a different perspective, and it's fine if they go at each other with their point of views. That's all welcome here. As long as we keep it respectful, it's all good. I love it. It makes it for conversation. I think we will get a conditional pick next year draft for Jimmy G. Kind of like went straight. Yeah, if we don't trade, if we keep Jimmy and then we let him go to a free agency, we'll get a 3rd round pick for him next year in 2023. But I'd rather get something for him this year. Hopefully a 2 and a 4 next year. That would be nice. For the most part, yes. For the most part, our defense and the running game bailed out Lance, just like they've been bailing out Jimmy G all year. The difference is Jimmy G is a veteran and shouldn't have to depend to be bailed out by our defense and run game. Trey was starting his 2nd game as a pro. Well, that defense against the Texans defense, didn't they play the Chargers and Justin Herbert the week before? Didn't they play Justin Herbert and those Chargers the week before? And they destroyed the Chargers? I find it interesting that people say, well, this team sucks, so therefore you have to win. Listen, there are 32 NFL teams, some better than others. But at the end of the day, every team has starters. Every team has pros on their team. There is no walk cake. There's no cakewalk, I should say, in the NFL. There's no gimmies. Look at who lost to the Jaguars this year. Oh, look at the Bills. Perfect example. The Buffalo Bills played the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they lost to the Jaguars. There is no gimmies in the NFL. Every team they are all professional teams for a reason. So when people say, well, they played against this defense or this team, there's still a team in the NFL for a reason. And it's any given Sunday. We know that the Buffalo Bills are a better team right now than the Jacksonville Jaguars, right? But who won that game? Who won? So that just tells you that on any given Sunday, if you are not prepared or if you overlook a certain team, you can get your butt kicked. And the Niners not only beat the Texans with a rookie, but they beat him handily as they supposed to. It's not like they just won by 3 points. Now, they started slow because Kyle Shanahan was still trying to adjust with Trey being out there. But the more he felt comfortable with Trey, the more he opened up the playbook. And the more he opened up the playbook, the more that Trey was able to do in the second half. And I was very pleased with this, with what I seen in the second half of the Texans from a Trey Lance standpoint. That is correct. In the beginning of the 2021 season, Kyle made it very clear that there was not going to be a quarterback competition. The 49ers fans took it upon themselves to try to make it into a competition. And when it wasn't, the Niner fans that in their mind made it up in their head, they got disappointed, right? They got disappointed that there was no competition. And even though, like David said, Kyle Shanahan clearly said he knew that he developed a quarterback that he can work with, train, and teach, and ultimately be a great quarterback for the 49ers. But he knew that this was going to be a quarterback that was raw, that needed to be worked with. Everybody but the faithful, certain faithful, listen to what Kyle Shanahan has to say. And then they get mad at Kyle Shanahan for not making it a competition when clearly he said he wasn't going to make it. So you can't expect to listen to what you want to hear and then get mad at Kyle. That's, you know what I mean? It was no competition. He said it was going to be no competition. So you just got to listen to what he says, man. Grant Cohn blocks people that don't agree with his clickbait narrative. Well, everybody has their opinion, and every content creator has their reasons on why they are on here. And I have nothing against Grant Cohn. I may not agree with a lot of things he says, but he's doing it. Hey, he's taking care of his family. He does right by a lot of people. He does bring a lot of young kids on there, and he gives people opportunity to be acknowledged as a content creator. So, to each his own. All right, guys. I am going to call it an evening. It's been almost 2 hours. I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you guys being part of my channel. Thank you so much for spending part of your evening on a beautiful Saturday with me here on the Niner Sickness Podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. Thank you for your support. May you continue to be blessed. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a blessed day tomorrow. And I may or may not go live tomorrow, depending on how I feel. But I'll see you on the next live. This is why it's very important to make sure that you have your notification turned on so that you will be notified each and every time I go live. Thank you guys so much for your support. Love you guys like always. May God bless you and bless your family always. And I pray prosperity over you and your family. Peace. Go Niners.